Good morning. Just got back home. Did 30 minutes on the stairs this morning. Got 2 high days of food, and definitely not mad about that. Cardio for today and tomorrow got bumped down to 30 minutes. But I'll probably do like 10 minutes of walking after each meal to help me digest the food. And so that'll assist with some extra calories burning. So what we have here is the 100 grams of beef, 200 grams of rice, 2 eggs, and then as far as seasonings go, some garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of dill weed, and minced onion. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if this is allergies. There is a supplement I was taking for circulation. That's good for like circulation through your legs, and it has ragweed in it. And I might be allergic to that because I know when I cut the grass, we have ragweed out there, and it definitely messes me up. But it's it's breathing in the dust. That's different because I'm digesting a pill, so I'm not like breathing in a bunch of dust. So, but I don't know if you had an allergy to something and you swallowed it, and the way it would affect your breathing and all that in your sinuses, if it would affect you the same way eating it versus inhaling it. I don't know. So I'm just going to take that out for a little bit and see how this goes. I mean, the pollen hasn't been as bad as it was at least it doesn't look as bad as it has been on the cars. But there are certain trees that are blooming around here, but still it doesn't look like the worst. So I don't really know. But feeling good for the most part. Cardio was feeling good. Pushed the intensity a little bit more because I knew I wasn't gonna be on it as long, so I wanted to try to really work up a sweat. We have some clients today, so I'm gonna eat this meal and then I'm gonna get back to y'all and talk about more of some of the stuff I was getting into yesterday, like maybe a little bit more about the gear, just kind of like getting into it, my thoughts on it for people that have that interest towards it, and how my thoughts were towards it growing up and all that, and then talk about like my workout split a little bit. So yeah, I'll catch y'all in a few. Whew. Slightly full. No, actually, I felt pretty good. I thought I was going to feel way more stuffed than what I actually am. So far, I've had a total of 3 meals. I had the breakfast, which y'all saw with the eggs, the rice, the beef, and then I had a chicken breast meal with the zucchini, but I got to have rice with that one as well. And again, all these meals that get rice for today and tomorrow are 200 grams of rice. And that's, measuring it out after it's cooked. But my cream of rice has been 45 grams dry, and I usually add about a cup of water to that. Today, I got 90 grams of cream of rice. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to be so stuffed before going to the gym. But actually, I don't feel too bad. I love that meal. It's so good with that protein. The protein and adding the pink salt. And it depends on how you want, like, the
consistency of the cream of rice. Either you can make it a little bit more watery, or it can be a little bit more thick. And sometimes if it is a little too watery, you can always throw it back in the microwave and heat it up a little bit more, and it'll thicken up. And then if it's too hot, just throw a couple ice cubes in it. And usually it won't get super watery from the ice cubes. Maybe a little bit more, but yeah, you'll be all right. So yeah, did that, and I'm just chilling for a second before I go to the gym, and I figure I'd pop in here and do some of these video. So yeah, I've had my food so far. Saw one of my clients. That was a good time. He's getting stronger. Finally eating some food, so that's good. And then yeah. So I figured I could go into, I'll talk about the workout split for now. Okay, so basically over the past, year, it's changed a little bit. It's definitely changed, quite a bit in a way over the past year, but basically, before I started the prep last year, I spent 3 months where I had a 5-day split, and before that, I was only working out 3 days a week. I would do chest, shoulders, triceps, then have a full leg day on Wednesday, and then Friday would be back and biceps, and then sometimes the triceps, wouldn't be on the biceps wouldn't be on a Monday. Sometimes they would end up, the triceps. The triceps wouldn't always be on a Monday's workout. I started, every now and then I would switch it up, and I would do some tricep work with the bicep day and do supersets and all that, back and forth between the two. And you get such a good pump from that. But I felt like my arm growth wasn't keeping up. I feel like the way it should have been. My arms weren't horrible, but I feel like I could have got I kept feeling I could get a little bit more out of them. Because the genetics of my arms are pretty decent, but at the same time I'm not a mass monster kind of guy. But with time I probably will push to be a little bit more of that, a competitive 212 kind of guy down the road. But yeah, so with that being said, let's see. Yeah, I felt like my arms weren't really putting on quality size. It's if they were growing, it was because I was putting on overall body weight. And then they would come down if I lost the body weight. So it'd be kind of just body fat, you know what I mean, or water. So I started training them the way you would train, say, chest on chest day or your back. And and that allowed me to where I could put more focus into my back day, because I wasn't going to do extra work on the back day. The back day has become strictly back by itself, and that's all. And then, so it became a chest and shoulder day, biceps only on Tuesday, leg day on Wednesday, Thursday was only triceps, and then Friday was back. And that was pretty cool. And then, let's see. We'll move this over here. I'm getting too relaxed. I don't want to get sleepy. Okay. Let's set this up, actually. We'll just leave that the way it is. So yeah. So that it migrated. No, evolved is better. Evolved into the 5-day split, and I didn't have a lot of time to really put it to use to see in a surplus of food, how would it really affect my arms. So I felt like it worked, and then I felt through my preps my arms got better, and I was maybe it does work pretty good. And so then I did that through the entire prep. Sometimes I would try to do a 6-day workout where I would do hamstrings on a Saturday, but I kind of just kept it to the the 5 days. And then after the last show, when I started getting into the off season, that's when I started getting into the 6 days with keeping the hamstring day in there on the Saturday and doing some glutes. Now, through this prep, my split has changed up a little bit more. So basically now I basically have like two shoulder workouts. And then so before I get into the other part that changed, so Monday is still chest and shoulders, but I do a lot of, a lot of pressing movements. And I felt like maybe instead of doing like a bunch of shoulder pressing as well on Monday, I was like, I could just save that for Thursday and do like shoulder presses before hitting triceps, and I'd be all fresh and good. So I would do, yeah. So I would go and hit chest, and then when I was time to do shoulders, I would just do like a bunch of like side raises, reverse fly movements for like the rear delt, and then some front raises, things like that. And then I stopped doing like traps on shoulder day, so that has moved over to my back day, and usually I'll hit that either at the beginning or the back of my day. Now, but the shoulder workout on the Thursday has just become a full shoulder workout. So I go in fresh, I hit shoulders, all the pressing, and I get a really good pump. And then I go into like side raises and all the same stuff as Monday. And honestly, I think it's been a huge it's made a huge improvement on my shoulders. I feel like they're more capped. And losing body fat is going to bring out more of that capped look, but they're definitely improved, and then for my back stuff, it was on Friday, right? And I hit it when I go in fresh on Friday for back, I start out with more of the lower back and work my way up. So I can really put a lot of focus into like the lower lat, because my upper region, it's not that bad. So, I want to put, more emphasis into the lower lats to make sure they're thick and all that. And I just run through it all. But, you become fatigued by the end of the workout, where it could, maybe it could affect parts of the upper back, right? So basically it's like touch-up work. So on Tuesday when I hit biceps, I actually hit some back when I first get in there. So I'll do like maybe like not like a close or a wide, but more of like a medium grip with the grip pull down, and then I'll go into like a high row. So I'll drop the seat pretty low, and I'll hit more like this versus like that. So drop the seat, spread those handles apart, and you can really hit it. You can feel through the lower traps, the rhomboids, all that good stuff. All those other little muscles, all the different names. And then, so I do those two movements, and then I think I do like a little bit of close grip. I will do a close grip at the end. And then I'll move on to biceps, and I'll just destroy them basically. And I feel like for me that's been working really well. And I do like having the leg day split, because I can really tax both regions, like the quad and then like the hamstring and the glutes and all that. In the off season, I kind of have this idea, if I have the time to be able to do so, basically have 2-a-days for a leg day, and basically go in early and either do like the hamstring glute stuff first, and then go back later on in the evening and do like the quad. Basically you're flip-flopping, you're doing either one or the other, but you're hitting both in that day. And then on Saturday do the same thing. My calories will be up, recovery will be good, all that good stuff to make the growth happen. So we'll see. It's a thought, but I know I can get more out of my legs, and I think that might be a good way to go about it. So, yeah. That is my split, and it works well for me. Keeps me active. Right now, it's a little taxing, but I mean, 4 weeks out from a show, for the most part, food gets pretty low and all that stuff. So I mean, all these things are pretty normal. So I'm not going to be like my strongest. I don't have like the best endurance at the moment. But it's just part of the process. But for the most part, like I've kept my entire strength the whole way through, and I've gotten stronger. And I still have strength like when I do my compound lifts in the beginning of the workout, but I become drained pretty quick. So I got to be smart if I want to get through the whole workout and have a decent workout with all the stuff I'm hitting. Yeah. So that's my split, and now I need to get some kind of. I think I need to start getting like my intro drink in, which is like those ECAAs, and like that has some caffeine in it, but I just don't know if it's enough. So I might add a little bit of something else in there to give me some more pep in my step. I don't know. We'll see. And then after I do these things, I'll come home, have some more food, and then I think maybe I could talk about some of the supplement stuff like I was bringing up earlier. So we'll see. Hopefully, y'all are kind of enjoying the videos, whoever's watching. Again, this is kind of just like more for me, just I'll be able to look back at myself and like, oh, I was one goofy dude, or something like that. But all right, I'm starting to feel like I'm in like a food coma, so I got to get some stimulant in me. All right, I'll see y'all soon, and all right, I'm out for now. I'll be back. All right, it's time to get it in, do some back. I'm gonna start off with some low row. I like this piece of equipment. Set the seat a little bit, like for me, I'm not super tall, so I set it up a little bit more on the high side. Keep the chest to the pad, keep your butt pushed back like you're about to torque, and then when you dry back with your elbows, you can kind of like round over a little bit as you stretch. Try to keep your shoulders back though. You don't have to like let them go like that. Keep them back, stretch, and then when you pull back, you can kind of even get a little bit of like a rock with it. You know what I mean? Just like lean with it, rock with it. That's basically it. So yeah, I'm gonna start out on this, and maybe I'll get a couple clips of some things in here, and yeah, it should be a good time. Hopefully it doesn't sound too crazy. I'm hoping with these they pick up with what I'm saying and not everything else around me. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna get this rolling. Got food in my system. I'm gonna put in this work. I'm just gonna do it. Due to you not being able to hear me because of the background noise, what I did here was worked up to 3 plates. Ended up doing that for 2 working sets, and then I would still call it a working set. Dropped down to 2 plates, hit it for I think it was like 15 reps. Really focused on squeezing as hard as possible through the motion. Again, trying to pull with the elbows is what you want to do. If you don't know what that means, basically have someone stand behind you and act like you're going to do a row, and have them place their hands on your elbows, and you will feel your back engage and your biceps will not engage. Same thing when you end up doing like pull downs. Act like you're doing a pull down motion, have someone place their hands under your elbows as you pull your arms down, and you will feel your lats engage, and that's a good way to learn how to connect with the muscle and take try to take your arms out of the equation as much as possible. Also, that's another reason why I use straps as I'm working up to a heavier weight, is because I don't want to rely on squeezing the handle as hard as I can to hold the weight. I just want to be able to kind of relax myself through my arms, so as I'm pulling through with the elbow, the arm is not engaging as much as it would as if I wasn't using them. So that's basically it. Well, enjoy. Felt good, got a good squeeze. So I'm gonna roll this for a couple sets. Probably do
Maybe a drop, move on.
Yeah, no. All right. Just get in some high row and nothing too crazy here. Just keep the seat, depending on the machine. Sometimes the way it comes down can be different from other ones that look identically the same. So with this one, I dropped the seat a little bit lower compared to other hammer strength high row machines. And with this, I keep the elbows up at a 45
It helps me build thickness through my traps, down the entire length of the trap, through the rhomboids, and all those other muscles that I'm not good with naming off the top of my head. But I don't know why I couldn't think of the name off the top of my head at the time, but teres major, teres minor, and then, yes, the rhomboid and the traps as they run down your back. This is great for building thickness through all that. Yeah, so I'm going to get back to this, do a couple more sets, and then I need to do some kind of like wide grip pull down, and then, let's see, I could probably do like some kind of like mid row, like a wider grip mid row, and then some shrugs, and then I'm done. Like I said, it's strictly a back workout, so I don't mind if it's like doing too much, like, oh, you're hitting too many movements, you're reworking the same shit. But in my opinion, I'm not reworking the same shit necessarily. Some things may be getting reworked, but I can feel the targeting areas being hit differently. So that's my philosophy, is I can feel different things being targeted more versus the other shit, then it works for me. And if you want to do the bare minimum of the movements, that's fine, you can do that, but I'm not going to. So have a good one. That's wild.
I don't think it's going to take too long. And of course...
Hey everyone. So this video is actually, it will finish off this is the next day from when I started. Had a long workout yesterday. You'll see, or you would have saw some of the back stuff I did, but I actually did. So I had had a high day of food, and I knew today was going to be a high day. So I decided to take advantage of that and not just do back. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use this fuel, and I'm going to hit chest again, and I'll hit some biceps. And the day before so on Thursday I did shoulders and triceps. Monday was, of course, chest day, and then biceps were done on Tuesday. Started out with a little bit of back on Tuesday, though, like some touch-up work, basically, like I've spoken about before. But so I was like, okay, I'm recovered from those previous workouts, I'll just go ahead and do the chest again. So I did like a full chest workout on top of the back workout, and then I did the biceps. Everything was getting pumped good, everything felt good. Worked up to 315 on flat bench. I didn't do like my typical like 5 sets of 5 if I'm feeling pretty good. I did actually the previous weeks I did 5 sets of 6, but this past Monday I didn't do that. I was doing sets of 275. I did like 3 sets of 10 because I was feeling more depleted and just didn't feel good. But yesterday, yeah, I did 3 sets of 5 on flat bench with 315, and then I did some incline work and some flies. So it was a good time. Did a few different bicep movements. So yeah, and then went home, had a couple meals, went out to went over to a buddy's house. I never leave the house, so I was like, okay, like my energy, like I felt pretty good. Sometimes when I have the high days, I get really tired, but probably from the stimulant I had earlier, which was just, so in the morning I take a like thermogenic, and I basically had half a serving of that with my ECAAs, because I was trying to get a little bit more pep in my step. I just was sometimes after the post-workout meal I can feel a little tired, and I was like, okay, let me get something to like kind of wake me up a little bit, and I didn't want to do my typical coffee. So I did that, and like I said, after the workout I still had some energy, so I went, played a couple games of pool, and then went home, had my last meal kind of late, like around 12 o'clock, and then I was like, you know what, I'll just finish this video out tomorrow. So I'll finish it out, and then I'll do another video here soon, starting out the new day. And so, like, so far we went into, like, you know, my workout split this past video, why I do it. And then I want to talk about supplements, but, you know, there's no reason why everything has to be so rushed in the beginning. And I'll just go ahead and get into that, like, you know, in another video. And then I'll get more into the nitty gritty of it. And for those of y'all that are curious about, like, dosages and all that type of stuff, like, I do just want to say, like, everyone is different. It's going to affect everyone different, and your side effects are part of that. Just because, like, maybe I do something doesn't mean that, you know, it's going to work for you. Obviously, like, just your genetic makeup is different with how responsive you are, all that shit. So, you know, I can understand where someone say, okay, well, he did this and he looked pretty good, so I'm going to try it. I will say there kind of is like like, say if you're pre-contest or off-season, there can be, you know, kind of like some averages across the board that are more easier to calculate these days because people are so open to what they do, like top pros or non pros, just people that like to lift weights. And, you know, there's kind of like that borderline of, like, okay, if you run these compounds, this is kind of what they should do. You know what I mean? Like, some will make you carry more water, some will help dry you out, some will make the other ones work better. It'll bring out more of the characteristics. So, like, some are kind of like they piggyback off each other and, yeah, all that good stuff. So, again, I don't recommend anyone doing it. And, like, if you're a younger dude, like, say, like, especially if you're younger, like, you know, you're under 21, and like the thing is, like, your body is maturing naturally through these years. But if you're like, hey, I'm going to be a competitive bodybuilder, this is what I am, and I have the potential, you know, to be someone, and this is what I want to do, it's my life, and it means everything in the world to me, then yeah, I mean, most likely, hopefully you've been training for, like, some years before that, and then, okay, you're going to do it. So that would make sense. But if you're not going to do that and you're just getting into the gym, I would advise to take time to learn your body. Just because you take gear doesn't mean you're going to get big. Like, you'll put weight on because you could put on a bunch of water weight and that will come right off. There's a difference between putting on, so people get caught up on the whole number thing. I know I'm kind of going on a rant now, but people get caught up on that number thing of, like, oh, I'm gaining this much weight every day. And you will get stronger usually with that because the water's filling up the muscle. You feel good under the weight. You know, you're full as a mother, depending on what you're doing and depending on your genetics. Like, everyone is different. So, yeah, don't get caught up chasing that number when it's like, if it's shooting up really fast, that's not muscle tissue, that's just water. And the slow gains are the more impressive gains at the end of the day. So yeah, just, I don't know, hopefully that this is finishing off okay. But yeah, I'm about to be home and I'm going to have my breakfast. Maybe I have enough time to get a second meal in before having, like, a post-workout meal, but I'm gonna see a client here soon, so I might just do my pre-workout meal as a second meal, and then I'll go train. And, you know, because today is a high day of food, so it's not really like I'm not doing cardio this evening. I just got done doing cardio, and yeah, so on. So, all right, I'm gonna finish this up. I'll let it splice together and take 45 minutes to come together, and then I'll upload it and all that good stuff. So, all right, sounds good. I will catch y'all in a bit. Technically, I guess I'll see y'all, yeah, tomorrow, because I mean, the next video wouldn't even be going up until Sunday anyway, so it kind of still works out to the same, you know, same schedule basically. But all right, good talking to y'all. And again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. I can give you the best knowledge as possible, or like my best opinion on things, maybe, I don't know. So just, let me know. All right.